Hey folks, Lester here. It's a very rainy afternoon. What's going on over here is we have Tropical Storm Beta, such a weird name, out in the Gulf. And that thing's churning around and sending us wave after wave, or what they call band after band of rain. And I wanted to make a little short video here before the rains get too much heavier and do kind of a before and after video of the pond. And in this video, I want to address something else as well. As you can see, I've had to do a little makeshift dam of my own over here, and I'll explain that in this video. All right, so first of all, I am out in the rain. I'm sitting on my side-by-side, and I am protected from it's not a blowing rain, it's just a falling rain. And so if you hear the noise of it, just excuse that. But I'm semi-dry while I video. I'm come down the driveway, and I'm over here on the side of the pond, and I want to show you a couple of things. First of all, yes, we have treated the pond with chemicals. I made a video about that. But the video's name was something that triggered the red flags. It was something about a blue duck. Yeah. And Facebook wouldn't approve it without viewing it first. So we're on hold as far as that video goes. However, it is available on YouTube. Some of y'all have already watched it and commented on YouTube. And if you haven't, don't worry. Once Facebook gets around to it, they will view it. And they'll see that it's not breaking any of their copyright violations or anything else, no community guidelines, and they will post it. But the problem right now with getting things through Facebook is that they're located in California, their offices, and right now they've been evacuated due to those wildfires. And so Facebook's moving slow, and so we are going to be patient with them and not force it, because we understand that they're going through some stuff, as well as a lot of our friends and family, our Facebook friends and family who live along the West Coast. Peggy Pig's come to say hello as she makes her way around the beautiful turquoise pond. Anyway, that's itself not the point of this video. The reason I'm making a video is because of this mess right over here. Folks, listen, I know I bragged on our pond guys over and over, and I talked about how great they were and how blessed we were. But they've kind of left us high and dry here. That makes no sense because it's not high and dry. They've left us without having this job completed. And now what's happened is it's come around and we got a tropical storm and they can't get back over here for a while. So this over here is going to be our berm. We wanted the dirt from the pond to be put over here and then turned into a berm. If you don't know what that is, a berm is like a levee or a dike. It goes around a low area, a low elevation area, which is there to keep, it's a high point of the property. And what we wanted to have the pond guys do, and what we paid them to do, was take this dirt out of the pond, pile it over here on the far back side, which is our lowest part of the front property, and build it up. Make it between 8 and 10 foot high, level it off nice and pretty, and then I would plant some grass or other things to keep it all in place. And so that was part of our arrangement. That was part of our agreement. And so when they finished digging the pond, it was still too wet for them to do much molding of the berm. So they promised to come back as soon as everything dries up. And everything dried up, but they were in other projects and they kept putting it off. And now it's gotten really, really wet and nasty again. They can't do anything. They've promised to come back, and I'm not saying they're not going to. But here's the problem. Can you guys see where I'm pointing? All of that mudslide type of stuff? So what's happening is, in these heavier rains, water is, falling, and it's creating quite the mudslide. And so the problem with that is all of this dirt, mud, is pouring back into our pond. And that's the problem. This is the deep end of our pond. It's about 15 foot deep over here. We wanted it to be nice and deep. So as a part of our ecosystem, we have a place for things to go. Fish life. Is it called fish life? Aquatic life? I don't know. Fish to go over here in the deeper part of the pond. you know, and I know you can't keep your eyes off Peggy Pig. This is not the focus of my video, folks. This is not the focus, but I can't seem to take my eyes or this camera off of her. I'm so sorry. You don't see much of her. She's kind of a quiet character around here. She's not the most personable. She doesn't have a big personality like Pig Trudy does, but she is out here right now with me, and so that's cute, and she's showing y'all a different side of her. Back to the pond. Where was I? Yeah, so this dirt is sliding off, and it's starting to fill up our pond. So I contacted the guy, and he got right back with me, and he apologized, you know, and he drove out, and I showed him what was happening. And he understands the concern, and he's going to address it. He says, Lester, I just can't get back over there right now. There's nothing to do. I can't work with this wet muck. And so as hard as it is, you know, I just sit here and I watched, and I says, okay, Paul, I get it. Chuck, a couple of guys I'm talking to. And he said, don't worry. He goes, whatever fills back in, he goes, man, he goes, we'll come out with the big equipment, and we'll dig it out again if we have to. But guys, you know how long we waited to have the water back in this thing, and I would hate to have them pump it dry again and dig it back out just to have to wait another month or two. That was just too hard on the ducks, the geese, the pigs. So what I've done in the meantime, and it seems to be working for now, I took my tractor, and my dad had at some point acquired some really big old telephone poles. Now these things are 20, 25 foot long. And so I got my tractor and I hooked on to 2 of them. And I drove them by and I put them right along the edge of the pond there. And as of now, you can see that it's begun to allow the water to kind of flow underneath, but it's captured most of the dirt. And so I'm hoping that that will keep that mud and dirt out of our pond. So those guys, when they can eventually come back over here, can go ahead and build our little road here like we want, push that stuff back up on there, and continue the berm and all they're going to do for us over here. So I know in a few of our recent videos, y'all have seen this, and some of y'all have been asking questions about it, and I wanted to address it at one point. It's easier to address it in a video than to go back and try to answer it in comments and direct messages and everything else. So a couple of things. Yes, the pond has been treated with its chemicals. Everything here is safe for the animals, the dyes and the algicides. I may be saying that wrong, and all the different things we put in that. There is a video on YouTube about that now, and it will be to Facebook soon. All I can say is soon. I cannot give you a date. The berm is still a work in progress. We are not done with that. We're not going to leave a big old mound of dirt over here like that. No, that is not what's going to happen. We have been promised that when things dry up, the guys will come back by and shape it up nice and pretty for us. And that will provide a 10-foot elevated piece of property there. So if we have future flooding, then the animals have a nice high place to stand, which will give them at least a 10-foot better fighting chance than without it. We're excited about that. And that's been something that's been in the works for a very long time. The pond is hopefully going to get the water that it needs to fill itself to capacity. As you can see from that far bank, it's still, I would say, probably 2.5, 3 feet low. But we've watched throughout the day with these bands of rain that it's slowly filling itself in, and that's awesome. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to discuss in today's video. Sorry it's taken me a while to make this video, but so they let school out for a couple of days because of the rain, because of the flooding. Even though we're not getting as much here in Plum Grove, Houston is being inundated with rain. And the Houston roads and streets are flooded, and they're having a real big mess over there. We're nice and high and dry for the most part, folks. Thank y'all for worrying about us. And whatever the prayers y'all sent our ways, they're working. It's funny how Jamie has been watching the radar, and these bands of rain come right by, and they seem to scoot right around us. Sometimes they split and go on both sides of us. But I know it's your prayers, and I know you pray for us and these babies never to go through what we went through before as far as flooding goes. And for that, we are very grateful. Okay, folks, that's all I have for you. You guys have a wonderful day and continue to keep us in your prayers.